I thought I'd show you some video here of one of my students, Patrick Lundy, who has made tremendous progress in his golf game. He's very dedicated, enjoys working on his golf game and making progress and going through the process of becoming a better player. One of the things we've worked very hard on is his backswing, getting it much more on plane, and I'd call that pretty much perfect. I mean, the club shaft stayed either on that plane, the shaft plane, and then got above and parallel, and then stayed above and parallel. So before, what he would do is he'd have too much arm swing on the back, and I've always said that the backswing has four basic movements. Four things need to happen. One, the back and chest, which a lot of people call shoulder turn. I call it back and chest turn. You gotta have that. I'm gonna have some left arm rotation. I'm gonna have some wrist hinge, and I'm gonna have some arm swing. Well, in his swing, he had the three first parts: back and chest turn, left forearm rotation, and actually some wrist hinge. But he had too much arm swing, so there'd be about 14 extra frames here, from about right here to the top, and it would get him kind of between his arms, and very hard for him to make the proper sequence on the way down. What would happen on the way down, because his arms moved back too far and the shaft was kind of in between his arms, on the way down his body would outrace his arms. So at impact he'd have the club lagging too far behind him on the way down, hard for him to catch up. By getting it here now, the downswing will get much easier. On the way down, what I need to happen here is for his arms to separate from his right shoulder. There'd be this widening of the distance between his right arm and his right shoulder on the way down, and his kind of come down kind of together. You can see his shoulders have moved there a lot, his chest has moved a lot, and the club hasn't separated enough from his right shoulder, so too much together. Now the actual shaft plane on the way down is actually pretty good, but because of that move, it gets a little flat right here and a little inside right here. Again, not too bad, pretty good. This is actually a wedge shot, but he's actually learning how to get the club back correctly, which will facilitate and help us bring it down more correctly. What would happen there is his arms would get a little lower, they'd move further in his chest and back, and the shaft would be more back out in front of him, which means it'd be more on plane. So I thought you'd like to see a little bit of a guy who's very dedicated to his golf swing, very engaged in the process of becoming a good player, and one to look out for in the future.